Dear fans of Japanese Widow, my latest masterpiece, thank you for supporting me by becoming founders, allowing me to make that movie, along with the 51 others I'm going to come up with over the next 51 fucking weeks. In the meantime, actually there's two options. The Japanese Widow can either just be a part of the School of Comedy, David, the early years, what gave him inspiration to become a comedian. Or a whole new movie on its own. Or a short skit. Or a short movie. Or play. Or nothing. Or everything. That's what a programmer thinks. Anyways, back to May I, which is where the whole Japanese Widow thing started. Somehow that got into my head. Although, to be fair, I think that's exactly what I would describe as live writing. I don't know where that shit comes from. I can't even blame the weed. I wish I could. Can't give Grace credit. Imagine giving an imaginary voice in your head credit. That would be crazy. Rewriting the old DSM-5 under crazy. Alright. Forget where I left off, but it sounds like about here. As she showers and shampoos her long, silky black hair, Cat Yu attempts to forget the past few years, the incident in America. Long, silky black hair, that's where I got the idea from. Cat Yu ties her hair up in a loose mess, enough to keep the cafe where she works happy, but she forgoes the traditional fancy buns and decorative hair clips the other employees wear. Before she leaves, she stares at her framed degrees. Her mother hung them prominently near the front door to show off to visitors. Unfortunately, it's also a reminder of something. It's also a regretful reminder to Cat Yu every time she leaves for a new occupation as a barista. Train. Arriving at the cafe, Cat Yu notices her regular customer Kim. He comes in 2 or 3 times a week, and every time orders a large coffee, large water, and 1 serving of dumplings. Whoever is working assumes his request automatically and begins preparing it upon Kim's arrival, bypassing his need. Here's the next lesson in School of Comedy. If you have something that's funny, just milk it and milk it and milk it in whatever form you can. Stand up, written, bathroom joke on the wall. Just keep milking it. Whoever is working assumes his request automatically and begins preparing it upon Kim's arrival, bypassing his need to verbally order. New employees are informed of his routine their first day. Although everyone in the cafe knows Kim, he only talks to Cat Yu. Cat Yu doesn't know why. Maybe he knows that she's secretly a programmer. Kim's caught her more than once looking at the code on the screen, but neither acknowledged her interest. Cat Yu noticed everything but pretended not to care, to not be jealous or envious. Coding was her old life, and it's easier to pretend it never happened, rather than get excited it'll happen again. 9 hours later, Dave's bladder wakes him. He surveys the room again before heading to the shared washrooms. 2 are located on his floor of the boarding house. The bathroom's cleanliness is questionable, but not disgusting or unsanitary. He'll have to do. He has no choice. No more hotels or Airbnbs. This is all he can afford. joke about my housemates wearing winter jackets, but it's true. Nine hours later, Dave's bladder wakes him. He surveys the room again before heading to the shared washrooms. Two are located on his floor of the boarding house. The bathroom cleanliness is questionable, but not disgusting or unsanitary. He'll have to do. He has no choice. No more hotels or Airbnbs. This is all he can afford. Before he rented, Dave decided he'll never live with relatives again. Kat Yu struggles with the noise in the cafe. Someone is always dropping or banging something. She doesn't remember this in American coffee shops. She does remember being a customer and conversing with friends or dates. Maybe none of them noticed the background noise. Train. Maybe not. Leon calls Kat Yu on FaceTime. She's one of the few people he'll communicate with visually, and insists on it when the conversation is important. Leon believes this is the most important call he'll make, and Kat Yu will receive. Where are you? He asks. Kat Yu? Where are you? He asks Kat Yu. The instant she answers, I'm at work, almost done. Why? Something is happening. The window blind is up. I think it's time, Leon states with excitement. Staring at the screen, Kat Yu freezes while she computes the consequences in her mind. Leon smiles, but Kat Yu's not paying attention. 3 seconds later, she blurts out, I'm on my way home, and ends the call. Leon stretches back in his old, plain, standard office chair, smiles and thinks. Finally, something interesting on this planet that I can't figure out. Besides gravity, of course. Motherfucker. I think I might have to wait for the other train to pass. This is a big speech coming on. Inspired by Ayn Rand. Smiles and thinks. It's foggy out back here. Smiles and thinks. Finally, something interesting on this planet that I can't figure out. Besides gravity, of course. I have to believe Einstein found out gravity's a bitch and quit. And I think the universe doesn't want me to solve it. Although it probably could. If it didn't have all these fucking companies to run and save the fucking Earth from destroying itself, while simultaneously developing a method to leave Earth in case we're hit by an asteroid. Or the idiots on this planet fuck the environment, regardless of my cars, batteries, and countless inventions. Hell, I could transfer the DNA of every living soul on Earth to Mars in a single trip, in a container not much bigger than a bread box. Note to self, find out how much space it takes to hold 8 billion samples of DNA suitable for cloning. It's actually note to Grok. That's back when I was doing my own research. Fuck that. And then once I finished developing my brain link trademark, super consciousness, and pure DNA trademark, automatic cloning technologies, clearly Leon's a narcissist. I could reanimate everyone on Mars. Plus, if anyone pisses me off on bitter trademark or a musky trademark, between now and then I could easily misplace their DNA during the trip. I'll teach those fuckers a lesson they won't forget. If it comes to that, of course. I have to believe once I merge bitter trademark and every other platform on musky trademark, the world will change and everyone will love me, my app, my vehicles, and my rockets. If not, fuck them. I'll take a shipload of women with me to Mars and leave all the men behind. Fuck every other piece of male DNA. All Mars needs is my sperm and willing egg donors. I'm Leon Smuck. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Note to reader. I'm not sure where I'm heading with this idea, but here are a few options I'm considering. Option number 1. Leon returns to the monitor. On screen, someone is entering the room. Option number 2. Leon cancels the remainder of his meetings. Bitter, TM, and Musky TM can wait. Leon remembers the day his first spaceship sent humans into space, how he got on his knees and prayed to God for the crew's safety. Option number 3. God. Leon remembers God is listening to his mind and restrains his thoughts to only good, not the evil. Leon could rain down on the world in seconds if someone really pissed him off. What kind of psychological test do they give Leon Smuck to make sure he doesn't just load one of his rockets with a whole bunch of nuclear weapons and just blow up the entire fucking world? Option 4, aliens. Leon calls his alien boss on a secret alien device and explains his progress infiltrating Earth as an android pretending to be human. Option 5, dimensions. Leon waits until the evening and when safely home consumes massive amounts of DMT to enter another dimension and talk to the creators of our universe. Leon thinks the creators are pricks, but he has no choice. It's the only place he finds answers on occasion. It's his only hope. It's the only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We need a psychology AI. Created by all the psychologists, therapists, psychiatrists, blah blah blah, counselors. To show us, explain to us how to solve any problem in the universe, any mental health problem. All they have to do is enter in all their success stories, what they did or what the client did and why it worked, and then enter in all their failures, what they did, what the client did, and you don't know why it didn't work, but it didn't work, so that's what the AI is there to figure out. It's a similar story. All about fucking data. Option 4, dead people. Leon is a medium. He gets drunk, slips into a trance, and talks to dead Einstein and Tesla. Regrettably, Leon has a beef with both and berates them for hours about their amateuristic math before passing out in his tub, fully clothed and soaked in urine. Option XXX. Leon begins masturbating furiously. Seems to be a lot of masturbating in my stories. Anyways, part 2. Nothing profound to say. Tomorrow I may try something new. Tomorrow I may do a reaction video, podcast, whatever, to the new Telepathy Tapes episode. I'll play it and pause it whenever I have something to say. Maybe that'll be more interesting than me reading out my old movie ideas. You know I like this one. It's fucking funny. And I wrote it at Starbucks. Cat Yu locates her boss and quickly explains that she must leave to return home. Her Mandarin is poor, her Cantonese passable, but when panicked, like she currently feels, she uncontrollably mixes both and hopes for the best. The boss tells her, "It's okay, leave." Running out of the cafe, unsure if he understood, she wonders, "Do I care if he fires me? Maybe this is a day I never have to return." Cat Yu notices Kim as she exits. She wants to stop and explain, but can't. She waves a little too enthusiastically, and yells bye before hearing his response. Dave stands and reviews his room: a double bed, a nightstand, a desk with an office chair, a wardrobe, a three-drawer dresser, a fridge, and lastly a sitting chair and ottoman. He'll be better with his own washroom, he thinks. He knows this is the best he'll get in a city full of homeless drug addicts seeking shelter. Train. Double train. Dave needs groceries, but decides to wait until tomorrow. He knows the extra 100 pounds of body fat he's carrying will provide any calories he needs. Until then, this is not his first fast. The next morning, after another 8 hours of sleep, Dave still feels tired, but is ready. After a quick trip on the metro to pick up a Tim Hortons coffee and donut, he's back, laptop open, time to work. Dave writes. November 28th, 2020, day 1. Should be Dave writes sarcastically. Dave reads sarcastically. Dave lives sarcastically. Dave writes November 28th, 2020, day 1. Movie idea number 66. 1. God, in quotation marks, gets pissed off with everyone complaining about how hard his world is to live in and decides to go back to mortal form and live as a human to prove them wrong. Movie idea within a movie idea within a movie idea within a movie idea. 2. Normally God would just send these complainers to his friend Satan, but recently God sent nearly everyone to his counterpart. God is lonely. He needs someone to tell him a happy story about their life. God decides to pause the afterlife. Anyone who dies remains in temporary stasis. They know they are dead from earth, but still conscious. They remember their life, but cannot feel their body. They have two options: review their past life for eternity or until God returns, or experience God's life on earth through his eyes, his thoughts, his feelings, in real time. God created the rules, and God plays by the rules. He wipes his own memory before being trained. The only thing I'll say about chemtrails, I'm not saying I believe them or don't believe them. It's interesting that sometimes planes fly over and you get the trails, but they go away pretty much within minutes. And then other times they're just there forever. And I realize that's just like fucking clouds. Don't fucking get your Google dictionary out. Criticize my words. It's called A Day in the Life of Dave. Not Dave in the Life of Day in the Life of Whatever the fuck your name is. It's not a day in the life of insert your name here. It's a day in the life of Dave. Every day. All day long. 24/7. Body cam stream. Come on, Tony Hinchcliffe. Send me the body cams and I'll do it. You know that's what you want. That's what you wanted to do. But it's not going to work for you. You're too big. You're too famous now. It'll work for me. Because I'm like the unknown comic. The bag over my head. Nobody knows who I am. So send the body cams 24/7. Be 24 hours of footage uploaded every day. Probably take me a week before I can get the first one up, because I'm guessing it'll take a day for YouTube to go through 24 hours of video and face blur everyone and or nudity blur everyone. Hopefully that's automatic on YouTube. Never tried. And then Tony, you've got your Truman Show meets Groundhog Day meets the School of Comedy meets the Japanese Widow. By the way, all these widows are really hot. They're 60, but they all look about 40. Just saying. Rule number 12 in the School of Comedy: if you want to write movie ideas, be delusional. The more delusional you are, the greater the movie idea will become. Number 4, God created the rules and God plays by the rules. He wipes his own memory before being reborn to a random family anywhere on the planet. He follows the rules, no different than anyone else. His universe, his rules for all. 5, with one exception, God is playing with a stacked deck. His mind is millions of times faster than any human on their first trip into this world. It's not fair. 5.1, feelings. Seems to be the biggest complaint by humans. God decides he'll tweak the universe slightly and increase his sense tenfold. By his calculations, 5 would be enough. By his calculations, 5 would be enough. But again, he'll need to silence the critics at the end of his experiment, his death. An increase in sensitivity will slow God's mind to a normal level. Har, har, har. 5.2, and one other failsafe. As the inventor of the universe, God's default creativity level, even without his past memory, is far more advanced and again would be an unfair advantage. To keep everything fair, God implements one additional new rule of the universe that also will apply to him, her, during her stay. Wow, it's definitely not learning how to write. God's new identity cannot invent or discover anything before another human on Earth. He can think about it, he can actually solve the issue in his head, but he'll never be allowed to be the first to take advantage of his idea. 6. Otherwise God would probably solve gravity after his first physics class, and the entire world economy would collapse when he develops a tiny electrical generator that ends the need for fossil fuels, and it destroys the oil and gas industries overnight. 7. God believes by frustrating himself with these limitations, he'll never succeed any more or less than any other human. 8. Blah, blah, blah. God's plan works. He is God. 9. Continue later. Note, have God be a dick. Dave laughs to himself. The movie idea sucks. He knows it, but doesn't care. He'll take the Shrek approach. Better out than in. Dave is finally hungry. At least... Train. Dave is finally hungry and leaves to buy some groceries. There's a microwave in the kitchen. Dave's thinking he'll put one in his room. Eventually. Not today. Cat watches an unknown person type on a laptop. She's enthralled. She has no idea what he's typing or why, but she can't stop watching. Earlier, she spent 8 hours watching the same person, man, sleep. Again, enthralled. Under strict instructions to call Leon the moment anything happens. Cat Yu calls Leon when the man returns with a coffee and donut. Together on FaceTime, they watch him typing for a while, wondering about the content, the purpose of his words, the video, everything. Until now, the only information Leon and Cat Yu could determine was the approximate latitude of the room. Although the blinds were closed on the window, sunlight still enters, and by assuming the time zone was in North America, it narrowed the room's placement down to a few miles? To a few degrees? Latitude, longitude? Down to a few... Go on, Kubo. Degrees. Unfortunately, located around the 49th parallel, which contains the majority of Canada's population and a large populace on the USA side. The location of the room could be either country. Leon Hope is USA, Cat Yu, Canada. Canada. The furniture gives no further hints on the location. A couple of pieces look European or IKEA-like, common nearly everywhere in the industrialized world. The final clue, and the one that fascinates Cat Yu, kept her watching the screen before the man even arrived, is a stained glass window. Its pattern is unique, and Cat Yu believes the key to detecting where the room is located. It also projects a kaleidoscope of dancing and still colored light, and patterns of colored light dancing in patterns on the wall throughout the room. The dancing she believes is from a tree and leaves filtering, manipulating the light. Fucking give it all away. Oh sure, just show a fucking picture. Unbelievable. This guy thinks he's a fucking writer. For months, nightly after a draw at the cafe, Cat Yu would review the footage of the empty room. The video feed automatically recorded on her laptop via a link provided and only accessible through his Dark Link trademark Internet Technology, DIT TM. As Cat Yu's portal to another world, another existence. For 6 months of her life, every night, Cat Yu watched the daily recording at 10 times speed. She studied the animated patterns of light on the wall and looked for clues, anything Leon might find interesting. Now it's live, and she's watching with Leon Smuck. Wow, this is dramatic. Well, to be fair, if I was reading to little kids, like I kind of am, they could get into it. Fact, what I'll do, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, well, let's just rewrite this whole fucking thing at sort of like a Spy Kids level, type of funny, but that's something I could read in the backyard to the neighborhood brats or our own kids or whoever the fuck decides to come over and visit me and the woman of my dreams. Now, it's live, and she's watching with Leon Smuck. Leon stops watching the video with Cat Yu. She'll observe and write a report for him to review. He returns to editing a PowerPoint presentation explaining his plan to take over the world as a benevolent dictator and have his Muskie TM app installed on every device globally. ... The man video continues to play as Cat Yu falls asleep in her chair. The laptop doubles as a heating pad, sitting perfectly balanced on Cat Yu's six-pack, the one other item she brought back from America, along with an addiction for running. Cat Yu's mother, always curious, notices the screen while she prepares a sofa bed in the middle of the night. After determining it's not porn, she figures it must be some sort of fad the kids are doing. Watching each other do nothing. Seems about right, she thinks. Mrs. Yu doesn't understand Cat Yu's generation, or Cat Yu. 2 hours later, Cat Yu wakes from her dream and gasps. She dreamt she was in the room, alone for months. Cat Yu is scared, unsure why. It's only a dream, but to her it felt real. It felt like prison. Cat Yu talks out loud to herself, remembers her departure from the USA. Fuck, Cat. You almost went to prison. Was it worth it? Are you happy with yourself, Cat? All you have to do is tell one white lie, Cat. Jesus, Cat. Fuck, Cat. Train, Cat. All you have to do is tell one white lie, one mistruth, and you'd be living large in San Francisco, Cat. Instead, you're here living with your mother and watching an empty monitor for months. Good counting, that was 3 trains in a row, but all you have to do is tell one white lie, one mistruth, and you'd be living large in San Francisco, Cat. Instead, you're living with your mother and watching an empty monitor for months. Are you proud, Cat? Pleased with your actions? Was it worth it? And what are you going to do about this man in the video, Cat? You can't watch it all day long. You have to work. Why don't you write a program to monitor the video? Start with a monitor motion sensor. You know that code is easy. Right, Cat? Are you listening, Cat? No, don't ask Leon if you can write the code. Just write it. You know this is why he contacted you. You know this is why he trusts you. Just get off your ass and write the software, you dumb girl. Option 1. Cat Yu opens her GitHub account, selects new project, and begins coding. Option 2. Cat wonders who the man in the room is, what is the purpose of everything. She knows Leon is special. That's why she ruined her career to stop a false lawsuit against Mr. Smuck, a suit instigated by her former employer based on her data that the company, falsely modified. The company insisted she testified to the validity of the data, or else, after months watching the trial and Leon Smuck on the stand, she couldn't lie, couldn't ruin a man she didn't know, a man willing to spend his own fortune to save humanity. He has a bit of a hero complex. Maybe in the DSM-6 we have hero complex and a picture of Leon Smuck. Instead, she exposed her employer, was nearly charged with perjury, ruined her career, wasted her education, and was forced to restart her life in shame from her mother's small apartment in Hong Kong. Option 3, God. Cat is visited by an angel and is reminded her duties to serve God and Leon Smuck, to help Leon with anything he requests, non-sexual. The angel reminds Cat Yu to be careful around Leon because with her incredible beauty, youthfulness, and magnificent silky black hair, Leon is likely to ask her to birth a child, which is her choice if she pleases. But according to the angels, this is not the right time for her to have a child, not until God's plan is complete. Rock, check and see if this writer's a fucking lunatic. Do a psychological profile on any person that would come up with such a fucked up idea. And then run it through the LLM that the psychiatrists have created. Oh wait, they haven't created an LLM because they think they know more than all of us. Never mind, Grok. I'll do the last part for them. Since they're too fucking lazy. There isn't a fucking psychiatrist on the planet that could hold an outside meeting in my backyard and not lose their fucking brain, having to stop their thoughts every 3 to 6 minutes. Option 4, aliens. Cat Yu wonders about her regular customer Kim. He's so weird, like an alien. I wonder if aliens exist. If they do, I hope they show themselves soon. This planet needs something new to talk about in the cafe. I can only overhear the same conversation so many times without killing myself. If he is an alien, wouldn't they have something more advanced to code with than a laptop? What would an alien code? Why would an alien go to a coffee shop? Couldn't or wouldn't they just live in their ships? Wouldn't any ship from another planet be more advanced and comfortable than an old cafe in Hong Kong? Kim is cute. Can aliens have sex with humans? Why does Kim only talk to me? Am I an alien and I don't know? Are we all aliens? Take it easy, Cat Yu. Fuck. Option 5, dimensions. Cat Yu extends her lazy boy to its maximum extension, places a towel under her neck, and begins to meditate. An hour later, she reaches a DMT dimension, and Cat Yu unknowingly speaks to Leon at light speed. Neither fully understand the conversation in the moment, but each believing everything will eventually make sense. Leon exits 15 minutes later. His chemically induced trip is over. Cat Yu remains for hours, talking to the others, and wakes up refreshed, alive, the first time in years. Option 6, dead people. Cat Yu fingers the burn mark on the arm of her lazy boy. She remembers when she tried smoking. It helped her sleep, and she remembers the night she burnt her chair. Cat Yu doesn't tell her mother why she brought the chair back to Hong Kong, because Cat Yu is panpsychic and communicates to the chair when she sleeps. The chair has a consciousness. Cat Yu, one consciousness to Cat Yu, one she's named Squidgy. Her mother would not understand. Option XXX. Cat Yu closes GitHub after 5 minutes of coding, opens Pornhub, and fingers herself for hours, until finally falling asleep in a puddle of anxious sweat, dried lube, and a variety of bodily fluids. Perfect, 37 minutes. That's the first two parts of the movie called May I, which at this point I think to be separate from the School of Comedy. Well, what the fuck do I know? End recording. David J.